so that then you've got this really nice mid-game fight where you can all in and just try and snowball off of that, especially as, you know, Wukong starts to pick up the likes of the Triforce, and you've got a lot of that power situated on that 1 to 2 item spike. But going for the Aphelios means that you're still reliant heavily on the damage from Wukong, the damage also from the set support to a certain extent, to carry the fights until Aphelios can get to those 2 to 3 items.
He's on comfort here. We saw what he did last game, picked up the MVP in game 2. But we're on to a game 3. Hello, folks. Again, V5 OMG, butting head to head. Now, did I think this would go the distance? I did, actually, surprisingly. I don't know why, but I just thought V5 can't be that, you know, that clean, right? It can't be another 2-0. Somehow, I was right. What'd you do for your prediction of this series?
I think I had OMG.
Did you? I did as well, but I changed it last night. And no one changed it on the graphic that went out on Twitter. I'm very upset.
I didn't say anything. You
Oh,
know?
I just, you know.
I'll back you up. I saw the text messages. It was coming like, please change, but
please change.
Too little, too
late.
late.
It didn't happen. Well, we've got a phase rush support for Cold. No Omni Stone there. We've just sat on the phase rush, which, as many of you have seen through the mid lane, he just chases you down.
Yeah, I mean, look, Nimbus Cloak, and then you start to get some of the extra kind of oomph from your Q as well. You become a very speedy boy, and it's so difficult for you to try and kite away from that. And Set as well in this scenario can work very well as kind of a hang back and try and pick off people as the Kindred ultimate is used. So in my head, the way I'm looking at this OMG lineup going is you get Cursed with this big engage, you have Icon come over the top, and Cold at the end of the day is used to just pick people out of the Lamb's Respite, so then you can finish them off and it becomes a little bit of a non-factor. But when we look at V5, if they have the opportunity to try and survive this all-in, they can try and turn it around, but it is a pretty big ask. At least for BuBu's perspective, a lot of the fight is going to be coming his direction, which makes it a lot easier for him to have an impact in these fights.
Play the range of Mole and Sam D as well at the end of them. I'm looking towards Icon as we're talking about runes, because it is going to be the unsealed spellbook here for the Galio mid. And, you know, there's so many mid lanes at the moment we can just see unsealed spellbook on. There's so many actually champions that are playing with the possibility of that rune.
It works really well here because you get more access to some of these more defensive summoner spells, and when Mole is going to be looking to try and go aggressive or at least kill you as often as possible in conjunction with Weiwei, having the likes of a barrier, an exhaust, a heal, something along these lines available makes this lane phase a little bit easier, because all you're trying to do as OMG is all in on these big team fights. You're not worried so much about winning on these lane phases.
Okay, well you can see Curse playing it back then. BuBu gets a shove, walking down, going to help secure Scuttle. We're looking for the first Kindred mark, and it's not topside. Well, it hasn't spawned just yet. We'll find out. And as we know, hang on, Face Breaker in the bottom lane. Cold chasing this up a little bit, but he's been exhausted down now. PP God shouldn't die here. Dodges away from the Haymaker. But Cold and SMLZ, that's a nice trade. PP God might be sent back here.
Big mistake from PP God. The whole point of this Bard is to try and keep this set support at range, but now having to blow the exhaust makes that a lot more difficult. Luckily he didn't blow that flash, because that would have been a wonderful day for Cold, who could have just consistently jumped onto this Bard because of how squishy he is.
See, they paid the respect because Hacker's down here. Level 4 Trundle with press the attack. The early damage is going to be insane, and underneath turret now the respect not paid with the flash away. Sam D caught under, flashes a little bit too late. The Haymaker comes through, and First Blood goes over. Cold, though, will be trade for the second. But now SMLZ walking in as PP God has the damage to contest. Icon come down as well, but Mole is on the other side. Weiwei PP God, and yep, Magical Journey Icon takes it first. And oh boy, it will be a favorable trade for OMG until SMLZ walks into death. He had nowhere else to go. So 2 for 2, I take it back, but First Blood does go over to the side of OMG.
2 kills onto Weiwei though, and this Kindred now can really start to get this snowballing. If as Kindred you can get ahead like this, it becomes so much easier for you to go in aggressive to the jungle, start trying to get these stacks up and become really obnoxious. So OMG, I'm surprised to see them go for such an aggressive play in the early stages. We were talking about can just hang back, wait until they go towards team fights and look to win it that way, but gifting kills over to V5, not the best way to start things off.
Kindred has a double longsword and the skirmishing smite available as well. PP God did go down there, but he's back into lane with Boots. Boots also here for Cold as well. So we're just keeping track after what this was a very elongated dive.
And you can go for this to begin with as OMG, because look, Set is amazing at tanking turrets in the early stages because of the massive shield you get from Haymaker, but not realizing that Weiwei was going to be down here and committing a lot to try and finish off these kills. So it'd be interesting to see now as we start to go towards the likes of this first dragon, how OMG are going to try and come back into this, because a lot of those big old summoner spells are now on cooldown.
And the likes of Flash to teleport through mid-icon, but he's almost level 6, so roaming down in between vision to start threatening.
I'm looking at as well now, Cold, having managed to keep his own flash means it'd be very useful if there is an upcoming fight, or even in trying to play on towards PP God or Sam D in this bottom lane. Weiwei though, trying to go aggressive in this mid lane.
Yeah, good scout of the week onto Icon. Weiwei does have the damage here, but can they finish off Icon? Bit more follows up as PP God makes the roam as well. Picking up some charms on the way, so Weiwei now very active, heading towards that bottom side. That's where the mark is of this third scuttle.
Yeah, we'll get the mark. Cold here trying to see if he can nick it away, but
hang on. Hacker's coming in as well. Level advantage. Facebreaker comes through. Weiwei doesn't really have the damage. It's a set support. And he's just taking him on. He flashes with the Haymaker. Wei's getting away, but he needs the help of his team as Icon is finally going to ult through. Cold needs one more auto. He doesn't die until Sam D takes the kill as Icon just wants to kill this jungler, and OMG was so thirsty for that.
Oh, so disjointed. OMG, nobody's able to follow up. Icon goes far too deep, and that's a massive cooldown burn for Icon as well. We would have loved to try and make these plays when you have Cold playing aggressively in the bottom lane, lock up PP God and Sam D and trying to push your advantages that way. Now though, more kills go the way of V5. They've got this first dragon as well, and OMG mistakes creeping into their play once again. And
the kills this time went to Mole and Sam D. It spread out as OMG looking to contest again, but Cold doesn't have his flash anymore. Good scout of the week here from Mole. Remember, he has level 6 and flash. He's going to help out with the dragon. Secured first here by V5. Ocean next. And that Kindred, quite large and in charge. As we look towards the top side, it's going to be Cyclone used. Curse to follow that one up. Can't get the second one as PP God has been caught out yet again. And Hacker's down here as well. Can't get out with the magical journey. And mistakes galore here in the early game.
Especially from PP God. He's positioning to try and step away from the set. Has not been going great at all. All you want to do, again, we talked about, is survive this lane as the Bard, get into a position where you can try and use that ultimate, but giving over so many of these kills to Cold in the early stages of the game.
Stop giving anything to SMLZ, right? Stop.
Yeah.
He's got 2 kills, and he was caught out before. He's got 20 CS and 2 plates.
And this is the problem. Look, we talked about what the usual manner in which this works. Okay, caught out by the X-Flash, but still, even as PP God, you want to be playing towards the bottom side of the lane here. You're going to end up struggling against the likes of Hacker coming in, or obviously Cole coming over the wall with that X-Flash. You can still put pressure on towards the AD carry from that position. But either way, I think looking at OMG, we talked about Callista, or along these lines of this mid-game focused AD carry, usually works super well in this style of composition. But if you're going to give a bunch of kills over to SMLZ as V5, well, he's going to get to these items very quickly and be able to bounce off of the strong points of the rest of OMG's composition.
I will say, though, that last play, that was sick from Cold. So I take back the mistake point, but I definitely think that right now, OMG have found some flavor back into this early game. The Rift Herald included, now heading towards the top side with a roster swap. Sorry, lane swap, I should say. Cold's going to get the face breaker, but SMLZ doesn't have the lockdown. No Gravitum available, but definitely has the damage to clear out this wave. And if they want, get some early plates yet again onto this Aphelios.
And that's the thing. Usually you'd have a punishment for rotating SMLZ and Cold up towards the Rift Herald, but because Sam D and PP God had just lost the 2v2, well, Sam D was back in base. He's not able to push on towards this tower, and it's a net win for OMG.
And the first mark actually picked up by Weiwei. So on towards the side of V5, their jungler. He didn't pick up the mark down in that bottom side, Dagger. I think because of all the fighting, it was Hacker who picked it up in the end.
Hey, he's only got 1 mark to his name right now. Really wants to get towards that 4th one where he will have the extra range that is really crucial. But
hang on, are you ready? Because Mole's coming. He's just flashed over the wall. Oh my god, the commitment.
Outplayed! That's what
apparently is. Bubu now underneath the turret. It is a Renekton with Weiwei alongside him. Dominus going to be popped. Flash held on to. SMLZ and Cold have Hacker with the Rift Herald.
And again, look at how OMG are playing this. It's guessing funds into SMLZ's bank, and he's going to be very rich after this play.
Especially if they keep pushing for the turret, because they do have the
Icon
capacity.
as well. Icon moving up, has swapped over towards the exhaust in case a play happens. does have the ultimate available to join in.
PP God's here as well, so we'll leave top for now as bullet time's used by the bottom side for Mr. Sam D, who gets the shove in the wave, gets a bit of plate himself, and has actually been sitting with Curse for a while.
Well, hey, look, I mean, we talked about it. If in that initial play with the roam up, OMG didn't lose too much, but Sam D is still getting some of these turret plates, getting this gold, and you're sharing all that golden experience as SMLZ right now. So this is Sam D winning out without them getting on towards this turret to try and even out this trade.
PP Gold's been up here for a while, hasn't he? Yeah. He likes Beer as well. He has roamed a lot from what I've seen, and I know we're going to make a better character profiles of our players here, our new players in the LPL, but PP God has been very much about roaming early and looking to help control mid.
Yeah, they're getting towards Mole in particular, and I think that's why we're seeing Mole start to step up a little bit more to the mark, because this is a team that's willing to play towards them, especially with Weiwei doing a really good job of keeping track of the enemy jungler. Mole can go aggressive. He knows he's probably going to have PP God waiting in the wings as well. So overall, V5 are starting to come together as a cohesive unit, which is why we're celebrating their success so much, as opposed to what we saw in Spring.
But they do have to close this out, even with a gold lead in this game. Again, what we saw in Game 2 was the weakness of V5, still putting the pieces together. It's not like this team is as great as maybe you would have thought at first.
So right now, V5 are going to be in a much powerful position. You're still waiting on Aphelios items to come through, so as long as they're spread out and not getting multiple members caught up in this combo between Curse and Icon, they can look to take these fights, especially with Weiwei having that Lamb's Respite to keep them all nice and alive. So I think when we look towards this dragon in the next 20 seconds, it could very well be OMG just deciding, look, we don't want to go for this. We're just going to let them have the second one. We'll fight at the third one when our Aphelios is stronger.
Okay, that makes sense, especially when he doesn't have the Infinity Edge just yet. And we look towards someone like Mole, who's on the cusp of hitting that Luden's Echo yet again. 3 seconds till that said dragon is going to spawn as well, as Hacker was spotted out towards that bottom side. But Icon making the rotation here might be caught out as well. Good shield of Duran, but Mole still on the outskirts and get a nice scat of the week. And even hits Cold over the wing. Perfectly done as SMLZ is going to go for the solo kill yet again. Healed away by Sam D. SMLZ takes 2 turret shots. Sends out a little turret and he ticks him.
The cavalry's coming, though.
PP God on the way. Nice ulti. He lands, and the moon says hello as SMLZ drops down to give Weiwei his 3rd kill.
The God himself sets up the play in the bottom side. Mid lane, though.
Hacker knows that Mole doesn't have an ulti after the play, but no flash either as a good scout of the week comes through. Subjugation not enough. TP coming in behind them. Curse and Hacker might be caught out, but a Cyclone used. Beauty doesn't care. He wants Hacker. With the Dominus now popped, he turns his attention to Curse just to flash over the wall. Teleport means he can just walk up to the top lane, and V5 continue forward.
And they managed to get this dragon. They're getting plates again on this bottom side. This is V5 reacting incredibly well to what OMG are attempting to do. I loved Mole as well. Not seeing the greed that we saw from him in Spring. Realizing, hey, look, I need to step away from this play. Potentially could have killed Hacker, but if Curse had closed the distance and managed to get that ultimate off, it would have been Syndra gone, Bew coming in way too late, and it all would have fallen apart.
The Mole in Spring would have killed Hacker, but then probably died, right? So, very well said. A lot of change here as we look at the solo kill that almost happened.
I'm trying to figure out, okay, that's where Sam D used the ultimate. I thought he'd just run back and try and catch SMLZ as he's running away, but managed to escape, has to use the heal and the flash, but same from SMLZ, and Weiwei, he's all over this map right now. I think he's on to 3 or 4 kills now at this stage. 3. Yeah, 3 kills, 3 assists.
Doesn't have the marks to go with it, but still, that'll follow in time. 2 in his back pocket from last I saw. Has caught up on that level disadvantage that Hacker was leading with before. Is now sitting at level 9 to level 8 on this Trundle, and is caught up in CS as well alongside those kills. So you can see the Berserker Greaves on top of the Phage that soon will be coming across. Weiwei feeling pretty good here for the final game of the series.
Especially when you look at V5 as a whole right now, these 1 to 2 items is where they will just kick out OMG of any situation.
Hang on, Cold Flash is going to be returned. He actually missed the face breaker. He's now followed a little bit too far. And for OMG, what are they going to do? Nice Unleash Power. The ultimate again from PP God. And that locks down Cold, but the damage not going to follow through because the TP is. PP God caught against Warner. He needs a Magical Journey to get out, but not sure if he has it just yet. He's just going to walk out of the pit instead.
V5 are still good to go for this. Code is going to have to back away. You've got the TP out of Curse, and it's bought enough time, all this messing around, to get Bew here.
As PP God goes ahead first, there's going to be an exhaust down, a nice little tempered fate. Well, not cosmic binding, excuse me. Bullet time's going to come through, and Wei Wei picks up yet another kill.
And now you've got the choices, V5, where you can just leave Sam D here in the top. He'll clear out this turret. You have PP God and Wei Wei go over towards this Rift Herald. This is so good from V5, and especially when this series has been dictated by these early game plays, V5 are coming out so far ahead.
I mean, Sam D's going to get this solo turret to himself, 450 gold in his back pocket, and he's probably the least fed member on the team alongside Bew. Wei Wei's going to pick up this Rift Herald as well. V5 are in a 5k gold lead, and you can see OMG need to make a play. It's onto Bew in the bottom lane, but Pillar put on down the slice and dice out as Cold's coming in as well, but how's he going to follow this up? Bew's going to get out, and even bully Hacker a bit on the way out as this Trundle probably regretting that a bit.
We hear that Rift Herald scream in the mid lane. Bew's going for it.
Definitely going to regret it because Hacker's hit him. Oh no! Bew will find the return kill as PP God says, howdy boys, let me show you what I got.
They're still going mid lane. They're going to get this mid lane turn as well. V5 are clearing house.
I mean, inner turret drops down. Gold goes even further up. The Herald healthy enough to get another charge here once the minion wave is gone as Cold goes in for the flank. Finally, we see the showstopper in the back line with a good little face breaker, but Icon makes his way in a little bit too late. The ultimate to keep Wei Wei alive as Sam D moves into it as well. As the Tempered Fate locks him down. I'm not sure that ult from PP God was necessary or even helped, but now he's on his way out.
So we finally see OMG coming out and getting some kills back in their favor, but this was V5 overextending, not quite being able to group up and get into a position where they could fight back. The biggest issue when I look at OMG right now is even after that play, they can't really fight toe-to-toe against V5 until, you get the 3 items on this Aphelios. Icon has already started to fall behind in terms of the damage that he puts out in terms against Mole. Hacker as well is going to find it really tough to get onto the carries of V5, and unless Curse is positioned to get this miraculous flank to catch multiple members like he did in that fight, or at least Cole did in that fight, it's going to make it nigh on impossible for OMG to close this gap.
A very interesting game 3. I mean, we got 14 kills in 17 minutes, but the most interesting part about it is how the kills are coming about, right? V5 a bit over-ambitious, pushing that deep into mid. And PP God's ult didn't really do anything at the end, but...
But look, I mean, you've got V5 and an Infernal Drake's about to spawn. They're in great position for it.
Yep.
And they're on cue to pick up this very early Infernal Soul. It makes it really difficult for OMG because you've got to try and fight at the 25-minute mark for this. But realistically, that's when V5 are at their strongest.
I mean, those 2 items you talked about where you said those spikes to come through, we're just on the verge of that with the BF sword, with the or the penetration orb, what do you call it? The Oblivion orb, sorry.
Yep.
I was told to forget anything about Morellonomicon. We've also got the Cutlass up in that top lane, turning into a Blade of the Ruin King Renekton. As V5 adjust there first. Onto the turret, inner again. This time in the bottom lane is going to go down. Back to 4k gold. And back to this dragon, as you mentioned, is going to be started straight away.
Yeah, I mean, look, Wei Wei is able to solo this out. You're getting pressure put across the board. Someone does need to go deal with mid lane, though, because that's a lot of CS and experience that's going to be lost to turret. But looks like that might be going across. No, they're not going to give it to Wei Wei. Sam D will pick up that one.
He's still only got 2 marks, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a bit of an issue for him, especially when we looked at the at least collapse that we saw from OMG, where Cold got that flank towards the mid lane push. Not having that extra range means he's so much more vulnerable to getting jumped on by Curse, getting caught out by a pillar from Hacker, or even just a flash taunt from Icon. So he really does need to start getting a few of these, but even when he's going towards the dragon, he's not willing to go up towards the Raptors there and just clear them out super quickly and get some of these stacks.
Which, in a way, is kind of good. I think Wei Wei in the past, if you didn't watch Sooning last year, Wei Wei wasn't... He was a bit overconfident with his jungling at times. I don't think there was really any dynamic that Sooning could play through. He's being very cautious here, which is great. Almost towards a Black Cleaver while we are talking about him. But note that he's so far ahead at this point, those other 2 marks will probably come from a kill. So I think he's not feeling too stressed with the way this game's gone. Has actually just opted back now. And that Black Cleaver is in hand. So big item here for the level 11 Kindred, who still maintains that level lead in the jungle.
And getting the CDR is crucial here for Weiwei. One, for the ultimate, but also just having that hop, skip, and a jump up as often as possible to try and create the distance is going to be super valuable. It's not so much just for the armor that isn't really existing on OMG right now.
We're looking towards bottom lane, but we should be looking top. As everyone grouping up for another inner turret. These rotations from V5 have been pretty clean so far. No one from OMG really here. Except for Hacker and Icon. And Sam D and PP God grouping up as well. Next wave crashing in. OMG make the rotation.
I think they need to hang on though, because BuBu hasn't really done anything in pushing in this mid or the bottom wave. So OMG are able to come out in force to protect this top lane turret. You'll need to see these waves collapse in first before V5 can push in towards top.
Finally reaches it. We've got a Baron sitting there, though. You know what the lady carry is? Oh, Hacker. There you go. Is that his mark?
I don't know. It didn't look like it. No, he's still got set there, so no. Wait, hasn't got any marks. But we'll get the Baron, which, you know... Okay, maybe not. I don't know.
As BuBu, hey, probably just leave. SMLC does a bit of damage on the way out, but they say, hey, we don't care. We got 280 carries and a Baron. Let's start it up, bring OMG in.
And BuBu now has got a heap of wards that he can TP to. V5 are just looking to draw in OMG. They turn back towards the Baron now with BuBu trying to play keep away from the rest of OMG.
Yeah, it's been spotted out there with the lens. Cold is the first one to go in alongside Icon. Curse been spotted out as well. Great scatter of the week here from Moles doing so much damage. V5 a little bit low from the Baron though. They make a magical journey in the back of the pit, but OMG have priority mid.
Yeah, the Tempered Fate didn't hit, so PP God's big engage tool is now down. So V5 have to respect that OMG can kite back and look to poke, and they have to give up that Baron fight.
And we go back to the lull until OMG say otherwise. Just going to be clearing out vision here. 3 people are there. Hacker's not nearby though, so OMG just going to get back vision priority around the Baron. Still 5k gold behind here at 21 minutes.
OMG are pretty happy though. If they're able to stop V5 from snowballing just by dissuading them off of, you know, missed ultimates and the likes of this, well then OMG can look to get SMLZ with a bunch more items on him. He's sitting on that agility cloak working up towards his second Zeal item. Yep. So this is where SMLZ just wants to farm and get to a good spot. But BuBu!
I don't think they're going to let him. He flashes away immediately, shows the respect. The showstopper used it in the backline as the range comes through, but Cold is just dead. OMG not on the same page on that one, and with that big pick on the support for 30 seconds, V5 back to Baron they go.
And look at all the vision that V5 have around this Baron. It makes it very difficult for Curse to try and find an angle to attack and get onto the squishier members. V5 are looking really good right now.
PP God zoning them off though, and you talked about his ulti before, it's almost back up and available, but doesn't matter. Baron taken down before they can do it, and they're going to turn for the fight. Icon on the backside takes on 3 members while Weiwei and Mole take on the rest. The Bulletine lines them up. PP God might go down, but the damage still available here for V5. 4 versus 4 on the side, and look at BuBu, he's like, I'm not taking this. That's it. OMG take down 1, but Baron still achieved.
Don't think everyone on V5 had to take that tunnel. Ends up walking straight into Icon, who's sitting there taunting over the wall. Does give a couple of kills, but Baron's still over for V5, and 4 members make it out. And just as this last Infernal Drake for V5 is about to spawn.
10 seconds to go here with Mole sticking around. He didn't need to reset, nor does he. He's got the Morellonomicon, he's got those 2 items. He's got the Baroned up minion mid-wave here for OMG to deal with. As V5 are now back on the map, way behind. They get some vision down, and it begins.
Trying to push in this mid-wave, but there's no more to try and get the turret. The Dragon's gone. They're not even here on top.
And it's Infernal Soul. Cold's still going to flash in, though. He says, I have an opportunity, but remember, Infernal Soul. Bit of burst to deal with as SMLZ learns firsthand. Icon comes in, but the ultimate's still available. And OMG, I think they were caught napping as V5 just dismantle them. 3 people dead. And this game looks to be donezo.
That fight was over the second Icon had to use that defense, or ultimate defensively. BuBu trying to see if he can spot him out, but either way, you miss out on that entire setup that we talked about with Curse and Icon. And V5 operating so well, spreading out, making sure that they're keeping all angles of attack covered, and OMG can't do anything.
Even though the death timers aren't long, I mean, it still feels like that was the nail in the coffin for V5 to win this series and stay undefeated in those series wins in the LPL. As Cold, I don't know what he's doing. He's going to Hex Flash just to show us how it's done. Inhibitor goes down bottom side. That gold lead now at about 8,000 here. as mid lane inhibitor turret falls as well.
And it really does look like V5 now are about to pick up their second win in the LPL.
That's double.
2-0. They're going to be 2-0, Hysterics.
That's 2 more than they picked up in spring. Wow. Impressive stuff. And again, I mean, V5, we're singing their praises. There have been a couple more mistakes here in the series, but what is happening here with OMG? There's 3 people going, we should go.
And the thing is here, SMLZ is getting caught out on the backline here. PP God and Bubu threaten them too much. So Icon has to use that ultimate defensively to try and clear space for SMLZ. But the way that you want to approach these fights from OMG is to have SMLZ in the back line. A lot of M's in that sentence. Where you can try and pressure forward, have Curse get on towards the back line. But they're not being given the opportunity to find these magical flanks, and Bubu is being enabled so well because SMLZ's been dragged into these fights to try and play close quarters after Icon and Curse go in aggressively.
Ooh, look at the bottom of your screen. Mole has actually picked up a Magi's a couple of minutes ago. I'm not sure if it was before the fight, but Mole's huge yet again. You can see the scoreboard when it comes back up. Everyone's got a bounty on them as well. V5, stellar work as Cold has to be careful he doesn't get caught out. Next pick is the game. As again, there you go. Mole with a big game. 10 stacks on the Magi's here, but this game has been about Weiwei's Kindred. And it's been pretty also stellar to watch.
And now you got Sam D pushing in this top lane. SMLZ trying to play between both these sides. Not really going to be able to do too much. Here's the TP in the backline, though.
First flank, and V5 actually separated here as well. The nice tempered fade. But will it save the day? Is the ulti for Weiwei? No. I think he thought it would reach over the wall. 2 people die, and there you go.
And finally, OMG are able to make things happen. That's the combo that they wanted to begin with. Nobody there on the side of V5 to protect Sam D and PP God.
Okay.
But they're not dissuaded as V5. They're still going to go for the inhibitor with minions pushing in boss.
Mole is still quite large and Bubu alongside him. So
one more auto.
Very, very fair. Yeah, you just need to get that inhibitor on SMLZ guarding it with his life.
He's going to be able to keep it safe. Turret stays, inhibitor stays, and OMG, they do make the play happen, but it feels like it's only the slow death that's happening here. V5, you've got all the Infernal Souls. You've got the Baron that's going to be spawning in a minute and a half. They can look to put pressure towards that while you've got this pressure from the minions on the bottom side of the map as well.
Here we go.
Look, this needed to happen so long ago, or even towards that dragon fight, but unfortunately, it's too little too late. And Weiwei doesn't have the flash to get over the wall here. Not quite thanks to Pillar, able to stay in the edge of that ultimate as well.
I don't think even if he was right against the wall, I'm
not entirely certain, to be honest.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have. I think Weiwei had good thought in mind, but was just a bit short on the range.
Yeah, there's no flashes for Sam D or BP God there
true.
either, but now they have them. Now you've got all those cooldowns, nice. And V5 will be able to push in here. That sentence still sounds strange to me when I say it every time.
V5 are winning games, huh? We're going to start treating it like it's commonplace.
What a time to be alive.
We'll see. They're still going to close this game out. You can see where Cold is. The Baron's spawning in 30 seconds, and Cold is waiting for this flank. Now, granted, V5 still have control with Infernal Soul and everything, and this game should be in their bag. But OMG, we talked about how their wombo works. We talked about the scaling involved, especially with Aphelios, with what Galio does late game as well. There's still always the chance that OMG could make magic happen.
Well, Secret Agent Cole is trying to get that working right now. He has been the veteran for OMG, 5 years on this squad, and now he's got to make the play to hold this game together for OMG.
You look at where the warding is as well, but V5 have no desire right now to start off the Baron, but Cole's coming in. There's the showstopper into the back, and look at where the Galio ult as well, as the bullet time comes on through, but OMG are getting low. Bubu aiming at Hacker as well, but they've already found Mole onto the back line. For OMG, they've gotten some big picks, but it's traded off for the Wukong, and Icon now stuck in the middle, while Bubu gets the rest of the attention from OMG, and Weiwei and Sam D survive and even flash forward to finish off that kill. PP God wants to take this one. Weiwei with a nice ultimate in the end, and Cold can't save the day. It was a good try from OMG, but a quadra kill over to Sammy D to finish off this series, as Bubu will just walk his way towards the Nexus. Again, V5 winning series. Who knew it would happen here? But in summer, they lead the scoreboard 2-0.
And they played this so well. They had that more mid-game focused composition. They came out swinging in the early game and managed to hit their mark straight away, punishing from the get-go in this game.